We've got some wood you can hit.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. We're going to swear in the new council members, if you all would like to stand. And all you have to do is say your name when I say
All of
aye.
us stand or?
Five.
Just the new.
5 names I have. Okay. When I say aye, you say your name. That's it, all together is fine. I
Janet Helbig.
do solemnly swear
Swear.
that I am duly qualified,
I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state
According to the Constitution of the State
of Pennsylvania,
of Pennsylvania,
to exercise the duties of office
to exercise the duties of office
of council
of council,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve, protect, and defend
protect and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and Pennsylvania.
and Pennsylvania.
Thank you, congratulations, and welcome aboard. Okay,
Glasses back on.
I'm gonna do a roll call of council members. To my left, we'll start there. Jason Heaton. Jake Tate,
Yes, here.
Jeff Seibert,
Yes.
Bob Tate,
Here.
Janice Helbig,
Here.
Robert Heaton, William Heaton, I'm sorry, oh my God,
I'm here.
and Lou Little.
Here.
Okay. Absent is the solicitor.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that. He had other commitments. Okay. Now we're going to take nominations on a ballot for president. And we take these only from council members, I understand. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I nominate Bob Tate.
Okay, we have one nomination for Robert Tate.
We need to second that.
Pardon me.
Do we need to second that? We need to second that.
Okay.
Am I allowed to second it?
Sure.
I'll second it.
Is there any other nominations
I'd
Let me
like,
know.
for president?
for president? Okay. We'll take a vote.
Yeah, then
We'll
we
take a
move
vote.
to accept. We need a motion
To
to
accept.
accept Bob Tate as president
I
of
make
the
the motion.
council.
I second it.
And a show of hands.
So hands or
Everyone,
roll
is this
call?
uni-
Your
Is this a roll call
We
for
need
this?
a roll call.
Okay. Jason? Jake?
Yes.
Yes.
Jeffrey? Robert?
Yes,
Janet?
I'm Janet.
William?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You
Okay.
Lisa, we went to school together and you can't remember my name.
Janet?
I'll be here midnight.
Call me Janice.
Okay.
Calm down.
Okay, we have for the ballot of vice president.
I would like to nominate Bill for that.
I'll second.
You good?
5:30.
Any other nominations for vice president? Okay. Motion carried.
I would like to make the motion to,
I thought we did that for
No, we
nominate
did
Bill.
not.
We
you.
nominated,
They
no.
did. Okay.
Accepted on it.
And who seconded?
I seconded it.
Okay.
And then
And then roll
we'll do a roll call.
Roll.
Yeah.
Jason? What did you say?
She said, yeah.
Okay.
He said.
I second.
I get to
Yes. Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I abstain.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to vote on myself.
I don't know, I guess.
You always vote for
You can
yourself.
interject on yourself.
Okay.
You're outnumbered.
Okay,
Vice President, we're good, we passed.
No, you have to pass the gavel.
I'm
Don't
passing the
throw
gavel.
Don't throw
Are
it.
you gonna operate from there? Or are you gonna get?
Not good here.
I didn't want you sitting by me.
You can move.
okay.
Yeah, don't touch it.
And don't hit me with it.
That's my job.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Mhm.
Yes.
I need a motion to accept December's minutes.
I'll make the motion. I'll second it.
We don't have any officers' reports because it's too early.
Did we vote on the minutes? We have the motion,
Make
but
the
I don't
motion
think
to
we
vote on
voted.
all those. in favor.
All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay. Reappointment by motion of the following. Auditor, JM and Associates, Borough Secretary.
You have to do it.
Oh, one at a time?
One at a time, yes.
Okay, we need to reappoint by motion the auditor, JM and Associates. Do we need a
I'll make the motion.
motion? Second?
Jason seconded.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Borough Secretary, Mrs. Pat Lansbury.
I declined.
You're not allowed.
yeah,
I can't have that.
but I'll
Not
second
on
it.
my watch.
I'll second it though. Yeah.
Who was the trader who firsted it?
I don't think we got a first. We got a
I
We didn't
second.
get a first.
All right.
Gee, thanks.
All in favor?
I,
I'll give Renee.
All right.
I got you back.
Thank you. Jake
Go.
said no.
Code Enforcement Officer, Robert
Yeah.
Tate.
I don't know.
Is that the one, which one of these are you allowed to do with your code? There's one I thought you could do, one you couldn't do.
I think you can only do permits.
According to what we found is the code enforcement's good, zoning is bad.
Do you want to continue to do that? Would you be willing to
I will
to do that?
continue to do what I can do, and
The only thing that you are not permitted to do, and I don't know if you checked with, I had said earlier that when I talked to Shelley Hauk at PSAB, she said that there wasn't anything in the code that dealt with, actual code enforcement officer being a member of council, but they definitely cannot do any zoning, anything that has to do with zoning as for anything, and that they should really check with the office of.
we put a call into, who was that we put a call
The PA
into?
State Association of Boroughs.
And
we
we're
haven't
waiting
heard.
for a call back.
Okay, okay.
I think there was some separation of duty or something.
Yeah, he's, and when,
So I would say yes. How do I?
yeah, just, temporarily, I say, until we hear anything different, we are okay to,
Pending,
As is.
further information.
pending further information, so.
Okay, I'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Okay, Emergency Management Coordinator, Bill Heaton.
I'll make a motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? And Widmer Engineering,
I'll make the motion.
I second it.
all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Solicitor Joe Budasek,
I make the motion.
I guess I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's that. Set the meeting day and time for the 24 council meetings. We just stay the same?
I think we could, if anybody, I'm just saying it would be nice to come a half hour early.
yeah, I wouldn't mind 6.
Get out of here quicker.
I'm cool with
I would hope.
Anybody opposed to that?
And we're gonna
Still-
stay on the same,
Did you make a motion?
I'll make the motion for 6 o'clock change.
before you do that, are we gonna stay on the same day?
Yes.
Still the
Thursdays are
second
good.
Thursday?
That's all I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'm
for.
fine with that.
If you're making all at one time, if you want,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Is there a second?
Yes, I'll second it.
Jake, you did it right?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it'll be 6 o'clock from now on. Correspondence.
There's no correspondence, I didn't receive any.
You
Okay.
did, I'm
Oh.
sorry.
I just did.
It's,
That's okay, it's just,
the census and when it's due.
yeah, it's every year we have to do the thing on the building permits that we're done, and I always take care of it, they'll send it to me.
Okay, thank you, Pat.
You're welcome.
Go to citizens, make the motion
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
as you came in.
Kevin was the only one that signed it. Kevin Barkus.
Okay, yeah, so
Okay.
about the website, I did some revisions to the site. So if you take a look at it, if there's any contact information that you need updated on that, please let me know. Anything you need updated, you see any typos or anything, let me know. Any information that you want on there throughout the year, of course, just let me know and I'll put it up there. About sewers, plugging up the sewers, yeah, so, but we're good on the website and the social media pages.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and I have one from Jeremy Tate. I don't know his address, but he has a follow-up question for you about the garbage company.
All right, I called them. Well, I called them and they were supposed to call me back again. Then I called them back again. And then they did call me back. And I told them the situation and they said they're going by the contract. And that's why they're doing this. So I think what we need to do is have Joe contact them.
Okay,
And he's definitely looking into that too, so
okay, good.
that's
all-
already in
all I
the
can do.
works.
Okay. Do I need a motion to go back to regular
Yeah.
Don't have
business?
any other stuff?
Any other citizens?
I'll make the motion to return.
Second,
Second.
or someone did. I can take that out.
Old business.
He already talked about
You already
the
talked about his, I
garbage.
don't know what order you want to go in, because we haven't
Yeah.
assigned committees yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just, you know, if anybody has anything left over from last year that they,
The only old business I would say that I had, and I kind of talked about it last month, is that Windmer Engineering is now out for bids for the MS4 project in the month. We're waiting on bids.
Okay,
And anybody can bid on it that has bonded or security.
Do I need to go?
are we just going around this way?
Does anybody else have old business?
Lou?
Well, I did, but
did you wanna say anything about the equipment?
I just wanna say that it's all set up, ready to go for winter. We're ready for winter to come and, doors, leaks, that's done. Everything's put away. And that's it. I just wanted to let everyone know that.
Okay, Mayor?
No.
You don't have any old. Jake?
The only thing I have for parks is, they were not able to complete the fence by end of year this year. I had a feeling that was gonna happen, wet, whatever, just weather and crap. So they will be down hopefully before the end of January to get that completed. And then we're just gonna look forward to spring so that they can finish top coating and painting and all that other stuff. So that'll all be completed at some point in time this year. We are all good as far as money goes though, right? Like my money doesn't just go away. So that money just kind of rolls over. I'll use that to pay for this and then that'll be that.
Is that it?
That's it.
Jeffrey? Okay, what about, we have our, report from Wendy, right?
Yeah, I just got that.
Fire police, yeah.
You'll have to excuse me, I'm just, thank you.
Caught it out of the corner of my eye.
I'm so glad somebody did. Okay,
You want me to read it, Pat?
no, I can read it. There were 52 fire calls answered by the West Mayfield Fire Department. They used 80 gallons of diesel fuel. Engine number 1 and engine number 3 put on 642 miles. And and that includes the bus as well. So that was 642 miles completely, used by their vehicles. And the squad has been out of service since February 2023. And that's,
Because of train development. So it hasn't been running and it's not gonna run. So
What are you gonna do with it?
we're gonna junk it. They give us the money to get the new one, so we're going out and buying new one. Right, so we're looking right now.
Not a new one, are you?
Well, we can't afford a new one, but a good use.
Is that what you're using the bus for now?
Like $1
Squad?
million, aren't
We're
they?
using a bus for that.
Yeah.
The squad was the red one, correct?
Yeah,
Okay. With the weird annoying siren on it.
yeah, so
I
we're
can
gonna
always
bring it
tell.
back, take off everything we need that we can use off of it.
Where's it at now?
Up at, Zionopol, at, Fort Dodge.
What happened?
It got destroyed out there at the fall. So, they got
Engine,
too
train?
much going. But, well, yeah, so it's all going, the brakes all froze up on it, everything. The brakes were okay when we got it up there, but from whatever happened there, it just froze the brakes all up on it and it's done. So there is some good parts on it, but we're gonna get them off of it. It has new batteries, so we definitely want them. Fix some lights and stuff like that, and then we're gonna have it towed to the scrapyard. So.
Okay.
That's it.
What year was that?
89.
yeah, so make sure you let me know when you get rid of it so I can pull it off the insurance.
Okay, well, you can pull it off now.
No, I can't, not as long as it's registered. Once-
Okay,
Yeah, I can't take it off.
okay. I didn't know that, thanks for that.
So, in this, for the report, do you say, it doesn't really say what you do with, like, the money that we give you? What does that money go for?
Goes for different things that we need.
They've always used that to
It goes
purchase
to-
different pieces of equipment or gear, or even maintenance repairs, right all the way down to paying the bills. Because
And we
over
we gotta get
Eli, was it
new
over
gear now.
$1,000 for bills now?
Our gear has to be
A
replaced.
month?
That's $5,000 a set. So we're gonna tie a lot of money up right there.
Okay,
But if you wanna know specifics, I'm sure they'll supply that for you.
I'm just wondering how the fire department's doing financially at the moment. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're okay.
okay. Let's go to new business.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, me too.
Janet?
A lot of motions going around, might as well throw out another one.
New business. This is too much for me to think about right now.
Wants to come back to you?
Yeah, let me think about it. I mean, I didn't really think anybody was gonna ask me anything.
Okay, so you don't have,
You don't have to.
I have
Yeah, and honestly, until
Like
the
zip.
committees
That's it.
are,
Yeah.
Just what I was gonna say whenever,
yes.
until you assign committees, there's really nothing.
yeah, okay. So,
Give me a committee and then I'll ask for a line.
you know what, I'll work on that.
Okay.
Bill, do you have anything under you?
I don't know, new until, I was just gonna say about putting together committees, that's all.
I'll work on that. Nothing, Lou?
No, but.
Jason? Jake?
No.
Jeff?
Yours is.
That's easy.
No, it ain't.
We're taking it easy on you, Pat.
Thank you.
Hey,
You
don't
can
ask
pass that over to your dad so he has something
You're
to
in
use as
trouble.
a reference.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Let me make a motion to pay a bill.
Yeah,
I did it.
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Opposed?
With that,
and just one thing, I haven't received any bills yet for January since it's only January
Right,
2nd and
second.
yesterday was a holiday, so I just need permission to pay any bill that comes in under the borough's name.
You got my permission.
That's a good
Pat, do you
thing.
still have my stamp?
No, I gave it back to you.
Okay, then I'll look for it.
Yeah.
I didn't
I was
know.
gonna ask you.
I was wondering about
Yeah,
that.
I gave it
I'll
back to
look.
you.
Look in the truck.
What about Brian? Brian, you got anything?
Just waiting on you guys.
Yes, that's right. I
Oh, by the
forgot
way,
about you,
Brian,
Brian. You
thanks for
should be
putting
sitting
that
out where I can see you.
I do have something
Um,
too.
Oh, will Lou have something?
What about that spreader you were saying about, with the
Tailgate spreader.
little truck, the one for.
I was just
spreading
mentioning
salt?
it'd be a good idea to get one for it at V-Box. It's wore out. They ain't a lot of money if you buy a new one, but you can buy a used one pretty cheap.
And
Not
then
to
that
be
way
rude,
we
but
can
what's a
still use the
spreader?
truck.
Salt spreader.
We can still use the truck with that
talking
salt
about the-
spreader on there.
Little Ford, or you talking about the Chevy?
The one for
The
the
Ford.
Ford. New one.
Yeah, we got that more work.
The truck's actually already set up for it. It was set up for it when it was there.
That's the V-Box or the tailgate?
Tailgate.
The
Tailgate, yeah. That way
Well,
we can still
can you
use
get
the
us
truck.
prices on
I
it?
say we need to get some prices.
You get us some prices on it, and we'll kind of go from there, unless you guys want to agree to if it's below a certain number or something.
I'd rather wait for prices and then Brian can get the prices.
And you don't even know who's on the streets committee yet.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's something else I gotta bring up. We need to, do we have to advertise for a new labor? We don't have a labor now.
Yeah, first
But he
of all,
quit?
Well, he just
Pretty much, he
doesn't
hasn't
show
come
up.
back to work for almost 2 weeks.
He hasn't showed
Really?
He
up.
doesn't call or nothing. We need to get somebody that we can depend on.
And we gotta start about this drug test too. Cause I heard
do you
it
think,
was smoking
do
in
you
there.
think, uh,
You
do you
can't
think
say
we
that,
should
Jeff.
take this
Oh.
into executive
Executive session.
session if we're
Okay, yeah.
going to
Yeah, let's do
discuss
that.
a personnel issue, please?
Yeah, I forgot about that, Pat. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, you know what?
Ratify
It's
for-
number
for-
20 on your paper.
I'm glad you guys are here tonight. Lou, remember Bree talked to you that one night at voting? She tried and tried and tried to get her deposit back
Election day.
on like she talked to you. She was the one with the little
Oh,
baby.
yeah, she told me that was years ago and she said, just forget about it.
Well,
She
she
talked
told
to
me
me
she
now.
wasn't very happy about it. She said she would like to have her money back.
What was the situation on that, Wendy?
On what?
Remember that girl that, that I mentioned?
She said she couldn't get a hold of
I
anybody
don't
to
even
get
know
her
who you're
deposit.
talking about or what
I-
you're
Bree,
talking
I-
about.
Bree
I talked to her about
Kovacs.
It was years ago.
On what? Hall or porch?
She rented
I
the
don't know
fire
nothing.
department.
I did not, I haven't not done hall rentals for over 20 years. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, she came up to me. No, I went up to her.
No, she came up to you. I was,
And she says, I'm not worried about it. She says, I forget what she said happened. I don't know.
she said she couldn't get a hold of anybody to get her deposit back.
Why don't you guys try to get a hold of her and see if you can ask?
I told her
I
I would
already
ask.
talked to her about it. And she said, just forget about it. Yeah.
So she's telling him she wants her money back. You're
That was the right thing to
saying
do.
that, yeah, I get
Did she
it.
tell you she
And
wanted
then
the money
Lou's
back?
saying that she
Why did she tell
said
me she
forget it.
didn't?
I don't know, you have to ask her.
You know
That's
what
what
I
I
mean?
said.
When
Just-
was,
you know
when
what?
was the hall rental so we can look back in the
No,
tape?
it was a park, I think.
Oh, it's a
But
park?
I don't remember.
It
She
was the
said
hall.
it was $75,
It was
whatever.
the hall,
Oh,
Bob.
that was the
Okay.
park
It was the
then.
hall. Boom.
Okay.
I talked to her too.
Bob, we'll have to get her name and
Uh,
I'll get a hold of her again. Cause she told me, don't
Maybe
even
I gave
worry
her-
about it.
park
Called
rentals back,
15
right,
times,
I
so
handed
there's
it
none
to
of
the
this.
people.
Cause I told her I was gonna check in on it. She said, don't worry about
I
it.
don't know,
Okay.
I never heard of
Hey,
that.
Bob.
I
have
Um,
that?
have a name and number.
okay.
I'll make
She's got her name and number.
Alright.
Um,
It's only right.
We'll
It's only
follow
right.
with that.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I know, but we gotta see what the reason was.
You're fine.
Okay, let's,
Okay, before we go
Because I don't
to,
recall that name.
no.
before we go to executive session, we didn't ratify
Why?
purchases yet.
What's that?
Ratify purchases.
okay, let's, make a motion to ratify purchases.
I make the motion.
For a second.
Don't tell me what to do. All in favor? Do I need a motion to go to executive session then, Pat?
Yes.
Need a motion?
Motion.
I'll say.
Are we done with everything else?
Yeah,
That's it?
We should have got rid of you years ago.
Party's over.
I've never had a meeting go this fast. This is great.
let's keep it up,
Wait
please.
till it starts at 6.
Okay.
I agree with
When it
you.
Executive
starts at
session.
6, we'll be out even
I'm
earlier.
gonna ask everybody to leave.
All right, you guys is gonna have to go out while we have executive session.
To discuss a personnel.
Happy New Year.
And we're gonna be discussing the personnel.
What's that? No. Well, you're like,
The way I sit, even with the dress on, I sit like this. Very embarrassing for my husband.
We'll do that once we get the reorganization. Once everybody gets there.
Are we gonna do that?
It can sit in the basement until springtime. Like, oh my God.
The new one.
Yes, we got that.
Did you look at it?
My son and daughter.
Look at all these. This is all about
do I need to make a motion to go back?
So,
We already did that.
Yeah, we did make it.
So all you have to do is let them know that we just had a discussion about it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll pull that one out.
So, we need to talk, we
Talk to Lindsay.
have questions, right?
Yes.
I'll start.
What?
Hi,
Um,
I'm Lindsay.
yeah, that's
I'm
right
from
there.
Aiken Refuse. I wanted to come here tonight because we've never been to one of your council meeting sessions. I typically handle all of the municipality contracts for Aiken Refuse. So I handle Slippery Rock Borough, East Butler Borough, City of Newcastle, South Newcastle Borough, Taylor Township. I mean, we have over 9 municipality contracts. You guys are included in those. So I'm typically invoicing your customers, your residents. I handle a lot of their phone calls, questions, things like that. So I have spoken a lot with Pat. I've talked to Bill Heaton on the phone. I've talked to Lou Little on the phone. So I really wanted to come down to kind of place some faces with some names to some of you that I talked to.
I'm Pat.
Hi, Pat.
I'm Bill.
Hi.
That's Lou.
I've talked to Alicia quite a few times too. So just to kind of get an idea, who I'm talking to when I'm, having those conversations, to get more of an idea of those kind of things. So I do try to catch some of the council meetings to some of the other, boroughs that we do visit. So Pat had mentioned that this was gonna be, a kind of a regrouping type council meeting
right.
with new committees. So I thought maybe this might be a good one to catch. So with some new faces that I might want to learn. So
Well, thank you for coming.
thank you.
Okay, I'm Bob Tate.
Hi, Bob.
I don't know if I've
We have
talked to
spoken
you.
before too. Yes, we
Okay.
have.
So we have some serious issues here. Now, my issue before was I didn't get a bill. So I didn't pay my bill, along with about 115 other people. And I was told, I was told that you have to pay this bill every 3 months. But if everybody did that, none of my bills would be paid, or I can't.
That was the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what it was.
I can recall exactly what you're talking
But
about.
anyways, and I was told, well, you didn't pay. We can't. I said, well, why didn't you just pick it up and then bill me, give me a late bill or something to show me that it hasn't been paid? But I didn't even get it. I didn't even get that. All I did was got no garbage pickup. So when I called, well, we have to pay. We have to pay our garbage fees. So if you don't pay, we can't pay. So my question was then, all right, so you didn't have to pay for my garbage. Why am I still paying the back fee when you didn't pick up my garbage?
We don't charge late fees.
I understand that. But
So
you
your
didn't
garbage
pick up
was-
my garbage and I didn't get reimbursed.
Your garbage was picked up on the July 3rd.
No.
Yes, it was. We didn't suspend anybody on July 3rd, I can
No,
guarantee that.
it was the 10th.
Okay.
It was the 10th.
You were picked up on July 3rd, you were suspended on July 10th, you called on the 17th and made your payment, then you were then resumed for service. You asked me for a refund for the entire month, I said, no, I can't do that because you missed 1 week.
No,
Yes,
it
that's
wasn't in a
exactly
couple
what you asked
weeks.
me.
Because then they said, well,
You paid on the 17th.
okay, but still, I paid whenever I knew whenever I finally got to talk to somebody, I actually paid over the phone. But I think there was a couple weeks that I didn't get picked up.
So you weren't picked up on the 10th. I believe you paid on it wasn't the 17th, it was the Thursday after. You called the Thursday after you weren't picked up.
Okay, but I don't think
And then your
The
service
very-
resumed for that Monday.
The very
So
next
you only
day.
missed 1 week.
well, then it was one of my other houses.
Right, but the
Is
very
that what it
next
was,
day
one of
after
the
we
other ones?
called, we got a letter in the mail saying past due.
Yeah,
You
Very
likely
next
did.
day.
Right, because at the time, that's how we were doing suspensions.
Right, we just never got the
But-
first one.
but it was one of my other properties. They didn't pick up over and over and over again. And then when we got it straightened around, they still didn't pick up and said, well, it crossed in the mail.
That was
Well,
Gabby.
still, they're not coming out to pick it up, even though it was paid. But then my son, who buys a lot of dumpy houses.
I'm aware of Jeremy's case.
Okay, so he owes all this money. Now he says, well, we're working here, so we'll put that out. No, we won't take that.
We just won't take construction material.
Right,
We
so
take,
basically
you have
he's
garbage.
there and he can't put anything out.
because our
But you're
garbage
still
trucks
billing
are
him.
not compatible for
I understand that, but
For
you're
that
still
particular
billing him for it. That's
because
the
that's how your
problem.
contract is written, unfortunately.
And that's our problem.
Right.
But it
So we
kept
would
getting a
never, you'll
runaround.
understand, and this is Mr. Aiken's stance on this, we would never have bid on an unlimited contract if there were exemptions. We have, like I said, many municipalities. They have exemptions, but they are limited. They are not an unlimited contract. My favorite one is Slippery Rock. They have students who go away for the summertime. They can stop their service for 3 months in the summertime because they're students. It's called a temporary discontinuation. You can do things like that when you write those things in your ordinances and in your contracts. There's nothing written in your contract to do that, so I can't change the contract after it's been signed.
So how's the contract read? Each house or each property?
6 properties.
So I have empty properties, you're not billing me for those.
You have properties we're not billing you for?
Yeah, well, they're
So then that's
lots.
So we have,
There's
we
no
don't
housing
bill,
there.
we
There's no house.
don't do, it's based on a unit, a house.
Okay.
That residential list was provided to us by the borough.
I thought it
So
was
there was
something about.
nothing in
council
there
said
about if you
to
wanna
exempt
flip
something,
this
you
house.
could.
No, absolutely not.
You can't
And
do
another
that.
example is
No.
snowbirds. There's a lot of customers that wanna go away for the winter time, but they're still required to make that payment for the 3 months that they're away. I feel for them, but I can't do anything
When the
about
contract
that.
comes up, you're gonna have to put that in.
Yeah, but can't you guys make,
And when it's up.
I can't make it, I
know
can't
you-
make an
I'm not-
exemption.
No, I'm
And
just,
we are never going to make an exception or an exemption on an unlimited contract. That's the point I'm
Okay.
trying to make.
sure.
Yeah,
But the problem-
if we didn't have the unlimited contract, if we had a 2-can limit, none of this would be happening.
Correct, it wouldn't even be a
an
question.
issue.
Well, the big problem is you guys telling my son, well, you have to talk to your council.
I
Then
mean,
the
I've
council-
spoken to people
Then
down
he comes
there.
to the council and they say, well, we can't do anything about it, you gotta talk to you. And it's back and forth instead of just saying, no, you're stuck, you're screwed
Not
basically.
gonna happen. The response is, do not tell these, I've dealt with this for the last year now, where people have called me and said, Jake, I spoke to somebody down at Aiken, they said, in order for this to happen, council has to agree to this or that.
The only person I know of that's had made this complaint at all is Jeremy.
No, there's been multiples, I can,
I have one other one that's made this complaint because he moved in January.
Yep,
Yep, that's the only other person that I can tell you that we've had
what
this complaint
about
about.
Jason, the guy right next to me, like right up the street, what's Jason?
Corvick?
Corvick, Jason Corvick,
That's,
he's another one that comes to me
that's
quite a
Kearney.
few times. We've had countless people over Facebook message us, or the citizens comments
Citizens
forum
comment.
message us as well. And it's just weird because it was said to Jeremy and it was said to that other person. And we have multiple complaints. And now I'm not on the phone with you, I don't know.
Right,
But-
so if someone were to call me and say that, I have a complaint, why should I be paying for this when I'm not here? My response to them is there's nothing that I can change. You need to talk to your council members in order to get something in motion to be changed. Whether it's for your next contract that you put in place. Or like I said, for this current contract that you have, there were several options that you can choose from.
Sure,
I don't know if there's any changes that you can make with your current hauler with those.
okay.
I'm sure that Mr. Aiken would be completely open to doing a 2-can limit to change things, but I just think that there are things that you as a council have to do to initiate that.
We're not-
That's not coming from us.
We're not used to this. I mean, in
Yeah.
the past with the people that we've used before, normally what happens is we vote on whoever's the cheapest out there.
Correct.
Saves the
This is
residents money.
Most municipalities do.
This has never been this big of a deal. I mean, even with myself, from the very first day, the day we accepted this, I said, listen, do you guys have a small truck? Because there's a couple places that I know of, I used to work for Valley Waste, that require a small truck. Do you guys have that? Yes. I said, I for one actually live in one of those places where I don't wanna have to walk my garbage a block down the street. Everybody else puts it right on the curb. I don't have that option. Can you do that for me? They said, yes, absolutely we can.
Okay.
My garbage has never been picked up at my house. If I put it in my house, they are not taking it. They will not walk past a certain point. And then they came down and met me and they said, Jake, we'll meet you halfway. Take it here. Our big truck doesn't fit back there. And my understanding was, and it's on record, they said we have a small truck. I don't care about your big truck. Honestly, that's not my deal.
Right.
Half the time I'm stuck at work or I'm not home. And my wife back here gets stuck rolling these stupid toters all the way down this gravel driveway and out to the street. And the biggest problem that I have with that is it's in a place where people drive to the end of my street and they unload their trash on top of my trash. So then now, not only am I dealing with them not taking my stuff, now I'm dealing with them not taking somebody else's garbage. And then I can't call every single week.
Right.
I
understand.
can't.
My point about maybe not having a small truck versus a large truck is we're packing out in West Mayfield almost every week.
That's unfortunate, but I asked the question.
Right.
You know, and now I have
can
to
bring that
suffer
back up.
for
I'll
it.
certainly bring it back up. I don't know your address for sure. I know I have you on a list in here. I can certainly revisit that with Mr. Aiken and
Sure,
on our
and I don't, like I
manager.
said, I don't wanna be a pain.
Sure.
The whole thing is I asked.
Right.
The simple way answer is no, we don't wanna do that, and I would've said, fine. But that would've played into the role, you know, how to vote for this stuff. Me personally, I would've had to have said no, but everybody else here would've said yes, and I would've just got stuck dealing with it anyways, but
So is your
also-
your position on council then is more personal? You don't think more for the people of West Mayfield?
no, absolutely,
That's my question about you. Your
Well, no,
particular is more
my
of a personal
position is
stance.
totally different than everybody else in the borough because I live in a place that a truck can't get to. Everybody else is good.
Okay.
The trucks can get to just about everybody else. There's a few people
And
who
this is a
can't.
very single case instance. I'm happy to talk to you on a
Right,
case by case
but,
basis then.
but, you know, in my
We
own
want to
head,
move on to something
it,
else.
it wouldn't have worked great for me. It wouldn't have. But being the price was so low, I was the first person on record to say, yeah, let's take Aiken. You guys have the best deal going, for sure. Everybody, and it was a tough decision because we were going with that 2-can limit versus take all. And that's a very hard decision because there's so many people who want take all, and there's a ton of people who only put out 1 can.
Right.
And we've always had
That's the
take
biggest,
off.
that's probably the biggest complaint I get the
We've
most.
always had take all.
I hear the
We've
most
always
from
had it.
customers who are only putting out 1 can a week,
Yeah.
who are complaining that they're paying $22
Yes.
a month. And unfortunately, they're paying for the ones who are putting out.
But we run the
bags.
risk if we don't do the take-all,
Mhm.
and we go to a 1 or a 2-can limit, then the people who produce more than that are no longer paying for their garbage or are just stacking stuff up on the side of their house, and now all of the residents around have to look at piles of garbage because they don't have a
I
take-all.
wouldn't necessarily agree with that because we service, like I said, several other municipalities. Like I said, Slippery Rock doesn't have a problem with trash building up. I mean, we have Newcastle, we're managing this well in Newcastle with toters and with bags.
Sure.
We're switching over, Taylor Township, we used to do bags. We're now converting them all to toters.
But my point is you said that your truck is packing out for West Mayfield.
Yeah, specifically
With all
bulky
that
items.
stuff. If we go to a 2-can limit, what would that put West Mayfield at? Half a truck, 3/4 of a truck?
depending on how, if you're still, depends on where you're putting your bulky items, where that falls in. If you're putting that in a contract versus not putting it in a contract. Most municipalities don't put it in a contract. So it depends on what you're deciding to do as a municipality.
The big thing that we have to decide for next time, so that we know, is now that we know,
Yeah.
this is how we have to handle it. We wanna work with you guys, we do, absolutely. You guys show up on time just about every time. Things have been great. Price is not that great, but that's not your fault. That's just the economy. And there's nothing we can do about that, you know? I mean, it's the best price that we had. So, I mean, we wanna work better with you in the future.
Certainly.
So we have to find ways to do that. If we have to change this contract around or do certain things, the end of the day, I want less phone calls, the mayor wants less phone calls, you want less phone calls, you know?
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys clearly must be getting more on your end than we are on our end.
We get a lot.
Like I said, I'm not getting and maybe I might get a miss or two, like I probably average maybe 2 misses a week. Other than that, they're not complaints about, I never get complaints about service, in that regard. I do feel like our guys do a very good job in that regard as far as making sure stuff's cleaned up. They're there on time, you know, if there is a miss, we get it within the same week, if not the next day, that we're back there picking it up.
Other than the first month when I think we had that individual that moved in the borough to know about, the complaints that I were getting were not being billed and not getting service because they didn't send the bill. And I know several different people, my neighbor's one of them, he said, they didn't pick my garbage up. That's one of five. I said, call them. So he said, they called me, so it's because you didn't pay your bill. He said, but they didn't send me a bill.
Well, we did change some things with our billing. I know it was a little bit, so when we first started with your borough, we had a signed contract in December, which would have been due, but we always do prepay. And that's with every municipality, every residential customer. You always pay your bill before the start of the quarter. So before January, before March, or before April, before July.
Right.
So for instance, you know, we weren't able to collect, when we first started with you guys, we got the contract in December. It would have been impossible to collect all of those payments before January 1st. So we let that go, I think, quite on into February, before we did any suspension. So the way we were doing things at the time was we were allowing at least a 10 to 14 day grace period within that. So if it would have been April, it would have been the first 10 to 14 days of April before an account would have been suspended. So we were still giving you at least almost 2 weeks before, like I said, we were sending a suspension, but not actually suspending the account or shutting off the service for 2 weeks. We continued that for the whole first year, and then we were contacted by your solicitor for the 30 days, which we've actually increased to 45 days, just to make sure we're allowing enough time for mail and to make sure that, you know, we're processing it quickly enough in the office and things like that. And we wanted to give ourselves at least 2 weeks in the office to be able to process that so that you are given an exact 30-day notice for a suspension.
Well, that generated a lot of phone calls too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
did that.
Well, I will say that generated a lot of questions on our end. A lot of customers wanted to know, why am I paying my bill in November for January, February, March? And that was it was a learning experience for a lot of customers, and I hope that we did a good job explaining that to customers so that they are aware that it is, you know, it's prepaid. We're just trying to make sure that they have their bill in enough notice now, so that if it's not paid by the 15th, they're gonna get a second bill, and that they still have some time to make that payment before service is shut off before January 1.
That wasn't the issue. The issue was you didn't send a bill. That was the issue.
I handle all the bills. Like there's 450 bills that I'm printing out, and I am personally, like, I'm not kidding you, putting them in envelopes, getting them out to you. So I'm getting them out. I don't know where they're going. What's happening?
I understand that, but you had 100.
I do think at first we had a problem with the zip code, because we were putting everything as in West Mayfield instead of Beaver Falls. We've changed that, so I'm thinking that there's not so much as a problem now. And
That seems to have died down.
But that's why he sent you a letter. Our solicitor sent you a letter, not to tell you to give us more time. It was to make sure that we got our bills.
That's not the impression. No, the letter that we got from the solicitor requested that in item number 6 of our contract, that it was requested that we give 30 days notice. Yeah, it wasn't about the billing itself. It was about the 30-day notice.
Basically, what you guys did went back to what you normally do of the pre-billing.
Correct. Yes.
So what is that a week? How much does that come out to a week? I mean, yeah, a week. It's not that much a week. I know, I'm just, Cause that one,
You're
that-
at $69 a quarter, so you're like
Quarter.
$575 a, is that right? Yeah, $575 a week.
so that 1 week, you guys made an extra 115
So let me
times
ask you this
$5.
question, so the trash that you had out we're making this about you, but, okay,
Okay.
the trash that you had out that Monday, did you take it somewhere else? Did
Mm-mm.
you put it out the next week?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the same amount of trash.
No, not the same amount.
We
no.
still took it.
No, I mean,
Yeah, I
obviously
see what
there's
she's
that
saying.
week and the next
Like
week.
it still
yes.
costs, so when I go
They
to the
took it all.
landfill.
But that's,
And I take that to get rid of it, it still costs me the same, whether I take it week 1, week 2, it's still the same amount of trash.
that just worked out, because if I'd had all of our kids there and it would have been something else going on.
But
then
you
we'd
have
been in trouble.
unlimited trash
Yeah, but
collection.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Then I would have probably taken it down to my work and put it in my work dumpster, you know? So.
But I don't
if
know
it
why
would've
you
been
would
our-
when you have unlimited trash.
That's a lot of
Because I don't
trash
leave
to
stuff
sit for
out,
a
you know
couple
why?
weeks.
Because there's animals, that's why we
Yeah.
don't leave anything
Yeah,
out.
we have a lot of problem with
We have big
animals.
We don't leave
Animal
zero out. It goes in the can
Like
or it
you.
don't go out. I mean, I don't want.
Well, the bottom line is there's nothing we can do, right?
But wait, you
Correct.
mentioned,
Your
wait,
there's a contract that's signed, we are in no breach of the contract, you guys are in no breach of the contract, so.
is there a way to, like, cause I heard you made mention, go back to your council and see if they could help you out.
So
If you have,
Well, when the
can we
contract
do an
runs
amendment?
out, can we put those exceptions in there?
We can do anything we
Yeah, when
want
the
when it runs
contract's
out.
out, you guys can
No,
go,
but this one,
you can write whatever
You can't do
contract you want, I
amendments.
highly would recommend you
Apparently
also
nobody
look at
read
your
it the
ordinance
first
as
time.
well. Just doing what I've looked at your ordinance, but.
Thank you.
If it helps to look at, like I said, there are other municipalities, I personally love Slippery Rocks, I think that would really help you. They have a really nice form that they use that the residents fill out with the borough. It exactly tells, you know, like how long they're gonna be gone, how long the property's gonna be vacant, how long it's not gonna be rented, you know, something like that. So if that's something to look into for future contracts, whether it's with us or someone else, I mean, we're not just your hauler, we'd also like to try to help, you know, where we can too. Like I said, we have done that with, like I said, other municipalities, so, if we can,
So basically, he's gotta pay his, how much does he owe now, Jeremy?
I'd have to look at his
The
account.
whole year, I guess.
I don't know, last meeting it was 400,
Yeah.
Because that's the way we set it up, and
because I looked in the notes.
that's what's in the contract.
But we didn't realize that with this type of collection, because we've always had unlimited.
Is there a way that he can speak with Mr. Akins about this? That he can,
In regards to,
about his bill, that you guys have never picked up one time from his location?
right,
He owes
Mr.
$500
Egan, he's well
or
aware,
something.
Matt and I have both talked about Jeremy's case, yeah, there's nothing we
I mean,
can
it's a
do in
huge
that
exception
regards.
to the, you know.
Right, and you have to understand, we can't make an exception to that, that's a breach of contract, then it's like I'm held attempt to, if someone wants to go to Florida for 6 months, I'm not making an exception for him, but I made an exception for you, and why is that a conflict of interest, because you're on council? Now I'm really a breach of contract here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
None of that was explained when they explained the contract to us.
Yeah,
That like snowbirds and.
that was all brand new to us, because we have always had unlimited, and there's never been an issue whenever somebody wasn't home.
We had Valley before, and Valley, if you didn't live there,
And I'll be honest with you,
didn't pay.
they probably didn't care.
They didn't.
We're a small family-owned business, we care. We have the technology in our trucks,
Mhm.
you know, to be able to know if a customer's paying their bill. Our drivers know if you're paying your bill or you're not paying your bill. But I'll tell you a problem that we have in West Mayfield, and I have emailed and asked and requested that if your residents can please put their house number, put some sort of identification on their cans behind their houses, because our drivers don't always know whose
Yeah,
pile
we all
is what.
got letters.
And I have a perfect example of this
Yeah, we
that
got
just
letters.
happened today, and I feel bad, I can't help her. I have a girl, who called me from 3619 Matilda Street. Only one of, our driver only took one of her cans. She called because the other one wasn't taken. So I'm looking into her account, I'm looking on the route, I can see he marked that he took it. That's one of the things, when they go to a house, they pick up a can, they mark it complete. If the can's not out there, we mark that it's not out. So he marked that he picked up something from her location, but I'm looking and her neighbor has not paid her bill, or his bill. But when I'm talking to this woman on the phone, she said that, you know, my neighbor doesn't pay their bill, but they're always putting their trash with my trash. That's a constant problem that we're always seeing is People, if they're not paying their bill, but they're putting it next to their neighbors, that's again, what we're talking about when we're saying unlimited service. You have 5 houses on a street, maybe 2 of them are paying their bill, and 3 of them are gonna take it to their neighbor's house. We have found that in some residents, we open up their trash and we can see that they're bringing in trash from out of town, and that their families are bringing it in. Like, we get that that's probably happening. But like I said, this entire portion of unlimited service, it has multiple caveats to it. Like I said, I wanna help her. We're gonna come back to get her can, but one of the things I suggested is she's gotta label her can, because our driver doesn't know then whose is whose.
But again, it's the same issue that I'm having. When my can goes
Well,
at the end of
so
the
that brought
street.
up my point. So yeah, if you have people piling up stuff next to your can, I don't know that that's, we don't know that that's all
No,
of
nobody
yours.
knows.
Yeah.
But you have this policy where you don't pick, if he calls you and says you didn't get my trash today, but he's paid, you have a policy that says, we'll just pick it up next week, right?
No.
Yes, somebody told me that the other day.
No, if you call within 24 hours and we missed your trash because we clearly didn't see it, it's dark, it was blocked by a car, we did not see it, you call us within 24 hours, we'll send a truck back to get it. Typically, it's within 24 hours, or it's within at least the same week. You don't necessarily have to hold it till the following week.
Right,
Well,
but
that's what
if
I was
they-
told the other day. He said, well, I called and they said, well, we'll get it next week.
So the only time I can tell you where it's questionable is, how I told you on our routes, we can tell like our driver marks if it's not out or if it's completed. So if our driver marks that it wasn't out, but you're telling me that your trash was out, it's fine. We'll just tell you we'll get everything the following week, but I'm not going to pay a driver whatever we're paying them for wages, plus the fuel to come back and get it.
That
When
does
they've already
happen.
done
I
their
agree,
job.
it does happen.
They've already done their job and they've marked it that that the garbage wasn't out.
But they're just lying, saying that they didn't pick it
Or
up.
the guy just missed it.
Or
Who
the
knows?
guy just-
I don't know,
you
I'm
don't
just telling you
know.
what I was told.
So, yeah.
It-
So like I said, we
it
try to
happens.
look, listen, we by all means try to do our best to get the trash cleaned up. It's, my brother's Matt, I'm Lindsay, we are a family-owned business, my parents have been doing this for 50 years. We, by all means, when you're calling in the office, you are getting a family member of ours. So I don't want you to feel that you're gonna call in and you're gonna sit on hold for 30 minutes before you talk to someone. It's not like you're calling Waste Management or Tri-County or someone, you're actually going to reach someone, and it's us. I've emailed Pat as late as 10, 11, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, to provide her with reports, and updates and things like that, so trust me, we're all in it. We wanna make sure we're providing you guys with the best service that we possibly can. But we also we have provisions in place so that we're not constantly sending trucks out everywhere. Like I said, we have those things in place to mark if it's complete or not out, just so that we're not constantly overspending on fuel, overspending on wages and things like that in order to make sure that we're keeping things, tight on our end too. But
Good deal.
Sounds good.
Thanks for answering the question.
no, I appreciate it. And like I said, we truly wanna work with you guys too. I think that I don't know how important it is the unlimited service option is for those residents or for anyone here at that table, but I don't think that Mr. Aiken would be opposed to switching to like a can limit.
If that's something that you guys are willing to do and put that on the table, bring it to our attention, because that is something we can discuss.
So I think it has to come more so from you, since you're receiving the complaint. So if you want your solicitor to come to us with that, I think that's something that we could certainly look into.
Is that before the contract's up or after the contract's up?
That would be a question for your solicitor, because I think that because it's an option in the current contract, I personally don't see why we couldn't just do that.
Sure.
Because, it's something that you would have to agree upon. I think the rate changes just slightly, and whatnot, but your solicitor would probably want to have him take a look at
Yeah.
that.
We just wanna make sure that if that's something that our solicitor can do, to send that over to you, if you guys would be willing to look into that.
Yeah, I think that Mr. Aiken
Just for
would be
less
fine with
headaches
that.
for
Are
us.
the rate changes listed in the contract for each?
Yes. For
So
each year,
we can
each year?
find out what each
Oh,
option
yeah,
will
that's
cost.
all in the
Yes.
contract,
Yes, it
yep.
is.
Even the price of the two.
I didn't know, I
limits
know
in
we
the
discussed it, but I
contract.
didn't know when we signed the contract, what stayed in, what stayed out. Because we want full unlimited.
That's good, that's
Yes, sir.
really handy information. That'll help you guys out, that'll help us out, and that might help some of the community members out too. get a lot of complaints about people saying, you know, the garbage.
Sure,
It's too much money.
sure.
A lot of people don't wanna pay that.
Unfortunately, that's gonna have to be the way, no matter where you go.
Yeah, but
We
if
found that out.
you switch to the 2-can limit, you're gonna save them some money.
Some.
At least the elderly that
Right.
only have one bag every 3 weeks.
Sure.
Please.
Is there anything else I can possibly do?
Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for coming back.
Like I said,
Yeah, thanks for
I didn't
sticking
mean this for
around.
this to get into a huge discussion. I truly just wanted to meet all of you since I
Okay.
didn't have a chance to meet anyone yet, so.
I
Well,
appreciate you coming.
Well, that doesn't mean you're not gonna come back, right?
This is something that's been building up for a while now. The next time you come, it won't be nearly this bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as soon as we get the new committees, I'll send you the person will be in contact.
Yep, that's fine.
Perfect.
And Bob right now is our code enforcement officer, so
Okay.
she asked me those questions and.
Good.
Okay, let's
We
move
good?
on.
Okay, let's
We
move
done?
on.
Mr. President,
We just,
Is there
Motion to
any other
adjourn?
business?
I made a motion to adjourn?
Yeah,
I second it.
Jason already did. You
I
wanna
do,
third
huh?
it?
No, he needs to speak.
All those in favor?
I got the committees made up now.
Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta, you just get some copies real quick.
We already had the executive.
Yes, we're in the motion.
You don't get these.
We did the motion, but we didn't vote on it. We didn't vote on the adjournment.
Okay, well,
Alright, so before we do
before
that,
we do that, can we go back and buy these tools?
yeah, can I get a motion to, buy some tools and paint?
I make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay?
Up to
All in
what
favor?
price?
Well, whatever we have to,
Yeah, whatever we gotta do.
whatever we have to do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just don't buy the top of the line stuff.
Anything-
no,
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a copy of the budget. You can
Jake's in
see.
charge, he can go shop out the tools or whatever, and,
Do it, Jake.
Get a really good.
he's good at doing that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Brian, I'll meet up with these this
I will
week.
now remake the motion.
That way we
to
can
adjourn.
match tools with tools. We don't have to
All
buy
in favor?
multiple different batteries. Aye.